Movies are like a puzzle. Each piece needs to fit into the other. The easier the pieces fit together, the better the movie is. As long as all the pieces fit, you've got something special. Never before have I seen a film where none of the pieces fit. Till now. It answers the age-old question, what is the worst movie ever made? I think I found it. No, it's not this one, or this one, or this one. It's a film from the year 2009, titled After Last Season. After Last Season is the worst thing I've ever watched. That counts footage of the planes hitting the towers. There aren't words to describe how fucking bad this movie is. And believe me, I've tried coming up with some. This movie's a cockstorm sample, a cum fondler, a spastic wank badger, a diaper-wearing colon sucker, a sodding erection butler, shit handle, a gag-sacking shit-faced bollock bender, a hole piper, a cocksplurt king, a tit blender, a blooming retard basher, a shitting cunt pipe. Oh. I guess there are words for it. It started in 2010. There used to be a website called Spill.com. They reviewed movies. They had a podcast titled The Worst Films of 2009. And a man by the name of Carlisle had this to say.
The worst film of the year.
Which we haven't seen either. I'm
After Last Season.
Yeah, y'all probably don't even know what this is.
No, I don't.
This is a movie so bad, it must be seen by certain people. Like, there's actually a club online called the Pineapple Club, which is just people who have seen this movie that get together to talk about it, because you have never seen a movie this terrible.
Damn, it's not like Vietnam vets.
There's actually there are 4 to 5 minute dialogue free scenes in this with animation sequences where the animation was done by people who don't understand animation, where it's literally like terrible things on a screen that's been duped, and then we fly back and forth through a 3D modeler that's supposed to illustrate psychic powers, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Needless to say, I watched it. The whole thing. After Last Season had a budget of $5 million. Yes, it was shot on film. Yes, it was released in theaters. This goes far beyond shit like Birdemic. Birdemic was made for no money by a talentless crazy person on a camcorder. This movie was shot on 35mm film, and it looks worse than Birdemic. The film is so bad that instead of sending the film prints back to the production company, the theaters burned the film prints because it was cheaper. Take a look at some of the quotes from the movie. They've got, printers in the basement you can use. I've never been to that town, but I've been through it. So, picture a flat surface. Out of the surface, one letter rises. From the alphabet? Yes. This film was written and directed by a pretentious douchebag who has no idea how to make a movie. People thought it was a joke, but he takes this movie very seriously, so much so that he created hundreds of fake accounts to give it a higher IMDb score. I'm not kidding you, he wrote fake reviews. I did this kind of shit when I was 12 years old for my movies because no one watched them. How anyone could give this movie a 10 out of 10 rating in a non-ironic way is unfathomable to me. How this movie?
My hometown is near Maryland.
Yeah, I've never been to that town, but I've been through it.
Yeah, I worked there for a few years, so.
I grew up in Salisbury. It's like 40 miles from Maryland. But I go by the racetrack every time I commute downtown.
Can be called intelligent and refreshing is literally impossible. I even checked all the accounts that gave this film a 10 out of 10. What do you know? All of them were created in November of 2009, and they all reviewed only one movie. Guess what that movie is? After Last Season. I guess part of the problem is that he didn't know how to spend the money. Not that I'm the best filmmaker ever, but I have a $10,000 budget to make my new movie, and I spent the budget money sparingly. As a result, the film looks very professional, and at least not shit. Mark Regan, the director, seemed to just throw money all over the place without any concern as to if he really needs it, or if there was a cheaper solution. The crew was made up of people I hired before the shoot. Some were carpenters. They were not film people. They helped me build sets. And as if all that weren't enough, the script is awful, the characters don't make any sense, the acting sucks, the editing is choppy, the sound design is awful, the music is some of the worst music I've ever heard in my life. Everything is bad.
Mike? Is that you?
There is nothing in this film that is even competent, including and especially continuity and logic. So let's watch the movie. Yes, this is actually the movie. I watched this with my dad once, and during the opening credits he said, "Is the TV broken or something?" Then we cut to the first shot, and
I was reading your form and you've indicated that you have Parkinson's disease.
wow.
The disease is in its beginning stage. The signs of the disease are minimal.
Wow. Yes, this is a hospital room. This guy is a patient. This woman in her dad's wrinkled up lab coat is a doctor. And yes, that's a fucking MRI machine. A movie with a $5 million budget has a prop MRI machine made out of tape and paper. What the fuck is happening? Couldn't they find a room that at least looks like a hospital room? Put an IV stand in the background or something? Face the camera away from the window so that it doesn't look like someone's bedroom? Move those shoes out of the background and unplug whatever the hell is plugged in over there? Unless it's supposed to be the MRI machine that's plugged in. Man, I guess that thing really needs loads of electricity. Move that fucking stool. Why is there an Ethernet port in a hospital room? What the fuck is this? Is that her desk? What's the microphone for? It's not plugged into anything. Why? I've never seen a doctor's office with a ceiling lamp. Then we cut to this woman for half a second, and then we cut to this. I don't know what this is, or where it is, or why it's being shown. Then we cut back to her after 2 seconds. And where is she supposed to be? Who is she? What is that? In every scene in the movie, they just shine a spotlight on the actors. The shadows are so harsh, just look at it. Then we cut to this guy. Once again, who, what, where, when, why? I can't believe he actually hired people to build sets. What it looks like to me is that he bought $5 million worth of cardboard and used it for every single set and prop. There's not one scene in this movie without some terrible cardboard wall or desk or something. Can you believe this was shot on film? They didn't even color correct the image or letterbox it. You can polish up the image like this and it doesn't look as bad, but unfortunately they didn't take the time to do this. Maybe they didn't have the money? Who knows? What is this? What is with the cardboard? And they blocked another window. How many windows are in this room? Was the director like, let me find a room with as many windows as possible and make that the doctor's office set. It needs a ceiling fan too. Pink walls.
Yeah, can you transfer me to the library's reserve section?
What are you doing? We're not even 10 minutes into this movie, by the way. Hey, nice belt. Then this guy stands in the hallway, but like, the hallway set ends right there. You can see the tops of it cut off. Again, if you adjust the color and the cropping, it doesn't look as bad, but they didn't. So, like, what's happening?
I started moving on Monday. My apartment's down the hall. Yeah, the landlord told us there'd be new tenants. There's a lot of furniture being carried around. So are you all settled in your new apartment?
Oh my fucking god. Where did the $5 million go?
Thanks. I didn't know much before that. My mother didn't go into the details. She spent most of her early years in a small town.
I can go as far back as my grandfather. He grew up in Ringham.
Yes, this is supposed to be a woman's apartment or house. Looks like a prison cell. This apartment or house doesn't even have a door. People just kind of walk in. Then this woman walks out and they cut to the outside as if it's supposed to be the same place. There's not even any light coming from those blinds. Then we cut to the Prolosis Corporation? I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but this sign was added in post. Could you tell? I sure couldn't tell. The effect is so bad I didn't even take the time to notice just how awful this establishing shot is. Like, if you cut to a building, you should have like a nice moving establishing shot, maybe an aerial shot. You should show the whole building. But instead they show like the corner of the building and there are like some trees in the background. Where is this place? Where is the entrance? What is this? Then she goes to this waiting room, and this guy is there. Can someone tell me what's wrong with the shot? Yes, you, yeah. What's wrong with the shot? Go ahead, answer. Out loud. Go ahead. I'll give you a second. That's right. Everything. What is this painting? Why is there a computer monitor on the floor? What is this? What is this orange thing? What is this pipe for? And again, the lighting is just awful. All of this is so bad you don't even take the time to notice how awful the acting, dialogue, and sound are.
So for the second part of the exercise?
How long is it?
Shouldn't be more than a half an hour. Most of the subjects were done in like 20 minutes.
Yeah. But my schedule looks pretty booked up this week. What about next week?
Is Wednesday a good day?
Wednesday I have something in the evening. What about Tuesday evening?
Around 7 p.m.?
Yeah, 7 sounds okay.
Okay, I'll see you 7 o'clock, Tuesday the 11th.
Where?
In this building. You see the hall over there? It'll be in a room in the middle of the hall.
The room before the meeting room?
The one before that. I'll put a sign on the door.
Okay, yeah.
Then they cut to the same exact set again, except this time the background is fully lit, so we can see the seams of the set. What the fuck is that shadow in the bottom corner? What the fuck? Yes, this is a classroom. It looks like Guantanamo Bay. What is anything? Just look at it. I've run out of things to say. The film has the worst set design I've ever seen. So these two people team up to do something, and they sit on the same chairs they were sitting in earlier, and they do their work on a cardboard box with a folded up picnic blanket on top of it. I couldn't even tell you what the fuck that's supposed to be. You're probably asking, Ralph, what's the plot? Good question. I don't fucking know. The trailer does a better job telling the story than the film does.
Inside a research company, scientists are developing a technology that changes the thoughts of a person into pictures.
I'm taking a class taught by Robert Bree in the spring.
Matthew Andrews and Sarah Austin are university students learning to become neurosurgeons.
I didn't get any of that information from watching this movie.
Neurosurgeons.
I'm gonna try to explain the plot as best I can. This was hard, especially since it took me 20 minutes to find a basic plot summary for the movie. Even the IMDb page doesn't have a summary. Initially mistaken for a comedy, this low-budget movie tells how some people solve a murder. Effective use of simple sets mixed with freezing and difficult shooting conditions have created terrifying effects. Moviegoers who saw this movie inside a theater have reported losing their sense of reality temporarily because the movie was so engrossing and real. Like, that's not a plot summary. If you really want to know what the plot is, I guess this is it. Matthew and Sarah are med students with an interest in neurology. A fellow student is knifed to death by a serial killer, and then Matthew runs a telepathy experiment with Sarah, who sees visions of the killer, and together they try to visualize the murder. That's what these animations are. The next 40 minutes of the movie is just that. They sit there and watch some of the worst animations ever made, It's a 3D rendering of the crime, I guess. They take Sarah's visions that she has for some reason and put them in a computer program, and this is what comes out. By far, this is the best part of the movie, when they start visualizing the crime. Then, a ghost starts attacking them. I couldn't even, like, I can't try to make a movie this bad.
I don't see anything moving.
I don't hear any footsteps.
This scene goes on for what feels like an hour, but then it's revealed that
The chair! The chair next to the wall!
Matt? Matt,
it was all a dream.
are you okay?
I was having a terrible dream.
Then there are these two people, I don't know who they are. For some reason, they face their picture frames toward the wall, so they must be weird. Then she picks it up and puts it back where it was, facing the wall, of course. Then she picks up the other one, they cut to it, and then she puts it back, once again facing the wall. And then the movie ends. So what was the point? I don't know. This movie is made for no one except the guy who made it. It's an embarrassing, epic failure, and I don't know if he was trying to make something great, or if he didn't care, or if it was a mix of both. Manny said this movie was a giant embezzlement scam. Mark even admitted that he only spent $30,000 to shoot the movie, so where'd the other $4,970,000 go? No way he spent all that money on post. Unless the composer he hired cost $4,970,000. I wonder if he's got a playlist of the soundtrack on YouTube. So what did we learn, boys and girls? We learned that anyone can make a movie. Anyone. I'm convinced no one can make a movie that is worse than this one. There is nothing to like about it. Anyone watching this video can make a better movie. So why not go out there and do it? I get a lot of messages asking me, how do I make a movie? The answer is simple. Make it. If this idiot can do it, then you can do it. If you're asking me how to make a movie, then you're doing it wrong. That's why I usually never answer that question, or when I do, I give that answer. Make a movie. I'll give Mark this, at least he made a movie. Why don't you make one? Don't say you don't have actors, or sets, or camera. Use your friends, use your backyard, use your phone. That's all you need. What's the worst that can happen?